got another Clapton lick today, and this is a follow-on from the one I did the other day. It's in D blues, and it's a great example of a solo where Clapton's mixing the major and the minor pentatonic. I'll put a link to the previous video in the description. So let's check this out, and then we'll break it down slowly with tabs. Right, so we're in D blues, and the scales we can think about are D minor pentatonic, box 1, off the 10th fret. And we're going to mix in the major pentatonic as well, and the full scale in that position for the major pentatonic is 10-12, 9-12, 9-12 on the D, 9-11 on the G, 10-12 on the B, and 10-12 on the high E. Now that you don't have to think about the whole scale and try and blend them together. What we're gonna mix in is the major third, which is what Clapton always does anyway, and that's coming from our D7 chord. There's the major third, it's in the major pentatonic. So you can also visualize your D7 arpeggio, the E form. Root, third, fifth, flat 7, root, third, fifth, flat 7, root. And the notes we're going to mix in are this major third and the B string on the 12th fret, so that's right behind our flat 7, that's the 6, it's in the major pentatonic. And the other note we're going to mix in is the high E 12th fret, this E note, which is right behind the minor third. Them are the notes we're going to mix in: the major third, B string 12th fret, high E 12th fret. Let's look at the lick again, and then we'll start breaking it down. Right, so I'm going to break this lick down into 3 different parts. It's quite long. So it starts off major pentatonic. We've got 10-12 on the B, then we've got 10 on the high E, back to 12th fret on the B. So that's mixing in them 2 notes I mentioned earlier. That's major pentatonic. And then we're going to come up to the 13th fret of the high E. This is the minor third, so we're in minor pentatonic. I'm going to bend it up. Then we're going to go 10th fret high E, 10th fret B. That's the first phrase of the first part of the lick. And then straight after that, we're going to move up to the 12th fret on the high E and bend that up a half step. So when we bend that up 12 to 13, we're bending into the minor third. So you're bending from major into minor. So bend it up a half step, back down, play the 12th fret, and then the 10th fret of the high E. Then we're going to come over, then the rest of the lick is minor pentatonic. We're going to go 13th fret of the B string, minor third, back over to the 10th fret, high E, then 13, 10 on the B, minor pentatonic, flat 7 to the 5, and then we're going to go 12th fret on the G, back to the 10th fret on the B. That's the first part of this lick. I'm going to slow this video down so we can watch it in slow motion and we can see what I'm talking about. Right, so that's the first part of the lick. I'll go over it again really slow. So we've got 10, 12, that's major pentatonic, into minor, so that's just a great little lick on its own. Like I said, with these licks, always break them up, do them in other keys, learn bits separately, end on different notes, make them your own. That's the first part. And the second part, we're going to come over to the G string now and bend that up a half step. That's going to go into the flat 5, so it's the blues note. So this is minor pentatonic. We're going to bend up, back down, play the 12th fret, and then back to the 10. That's all on the G string. Then we're going to do a triple stack, 12, 12, 12. So 12 on the D, 12 on the G, back to 12 on the D. Let's play the lick from the beginning slowly and catch this bit. Right, so we've got that bend, and then a stack. And then straight after that D string 12th fret, we're going to hammer in from the 10th to the 11th, or you can just play both notes. I think Eric plays it, but you can get it a bit quicker if you hammer. So that's, again, mixing. We're going from the minor third into the major third. And then we go 10, B, 10, high E, so we can just bar that. And we're going to go B, high E, back to B. So what you've basically done there, you're just playing that D triad, major third, fifth, root, back to third, back to fifth. So from the beginning. Last part of the lick, we're going to get the 12th fret of the B, so this is back to major pentatonic, and we're going to push that up a half step, so that's going into the flat 7. There's your chord, there's your flat 7. So we're starting off, this is part 3, push up a half step, back to the 12th fret, play the 10th fret, then we're going to go 12th fret G, 10th fret of the B, back into hammering that 10th fret to the 11th, back into that minor third into major third, and then hitting the root twice to finish off the lick. So that lick, part 2 of the lick, then part 3. I'll play the lick in slow motion, and then I'll go through it again from the beginning really slow. Okay, so from the beginning I'll go slow right through it all without stopping. Time. I'll do it just one more time. Remember, these licks, you can just transfer them into any key. Just remember, when you're mixing the major and minor pentatonic, it doesn't have to be a big complicated thing. It's generally just going to be them few notes. You can always think of, when you're playing a blues, when it's a dominant 7 blues anyway, is always adding in that third anyway. So that's always one note covered. And then the other two that we can mix in and play around with, if you look at the top of your minor pentatonic box 1, it's just the note behind them. So we can always bend them up a half step to take us into the minor pentatonic. If you bend the high E on the 12th fret a half step, it takes you into the minor third of the tonic. If you bend the 12th fret a half step, 12th fret of the B string, a half step, it takes you into the flat 7 of the chord. It's in your minor pentatonic. There's your minor. So the whole lick. Any bits of these licks, you know, you can just take the different parts and you can just practice them on their own, and they'll do as licks on their own. So just part 3, part 2, part 1 on its own. They all work. So I'm going to put the tabs for the PDF for this and the previous lick in on my Patreon page. It's free, so you can just download the tabs from there. If you've got any comments or there's any other licks and stuff you want breaking down, just stick it in the comments, and I'm going to do another video in a couple of days. I think I'm going to do a Kirk Fletcher video this week, and then I'm going to keep doing some Clapton licks as well in between. So cheers for watching, and I'll catch you soon.